see if I can read one of these today. Found 3 pairs of these down readers in my truck. There's so much shit in my truck right now, it's stupid. And here we go, what do we got? I think I saved like 70 of them on my notes in on my phone. There's obviously no internet connection up here. Let's take one right off the top. I don't even know what this is going to be about. It's been so long if I put it on here, but here we go. You ready? Steve, I've been watching your videos for about 3 months now, and I've got my wife interested in them too. Unlike some viewers so far, I've enjoyed all that I've watched, hunting and Bigfoot. My wife loves your backgrounds. I thought I would write and tell you about our experience at Salt Fork State Park in Ohio. They have not been jaw-dropping compared to others you have read, in my opinion, but it may help others. That is what we all can ask for in life, that we have done something in our lives that has benefited others. As a retired firefighter, paramedic, and former U.S. Air Force firefighter, I hope I've made a difference. Anyway, here I go. This may be too long for you to use, but feel free to break it up into smaller segments. I believe these beings are out there ever since I saw the Patterson-Gimlin film before it was known as the Patterson-Gimlin film. My parents took me to see the movie around 68 or 1970, and the PG film was shown before the movie. I was 10 or 12, and we lived in the country. My brothers and sisters ran the woods and creeks all the time. We never heard or saw anything unusual over the years. I forgot about Bigfoot after all, they're in the Pacific Northwest. Probably 10 or so years ago, I got interested in the subject again from the Finding Bigfoot show. From the first show or two, I was thinking these idiots could not find their ass if somebody showed it to them. In about 2011, we went to Salt Fork Lake to check it out and do a little hiking. It was early March and very cool mornings and afternoons. As soon as we entered the woods from the primitive camping area, aka Bigfoot Ridge, we heard a howl far in the distance that sounded like a combination dog howl and owl hoot. About 45 minutes later, we came to one of the horse trails they have, and it was next to a ravine that was at least 60-degree downhill and 50 feet to the bottom. We stopped and just looked around, enjoying the view. I just happened to look down, and right there between my feet was a bare human-looking footprint. But when I put my size 11 hiking booted foot in the print, it was at least 3 inches longer and 2 inches wider and 3/4 to 1 inch deep. This part of the trail was clear, no rocks or leaves, and the print looked fairly fresh, like that morning. The ground was not so soft that I would leave the print in that deep, and I did not think anybody in their right mind would be walking around barefoot in the woods this time of year or any time. They would be a bloody mess. This print appeared to have come from the same direction we did, except it crossed the trail and went down the ravine. We were not looking for Bigfoot, just enjoying ourselves. We continued on, working our way down the lake's edge. After a small lunch and a rest, we moved north along the water's edge. The water level was still down for the winter drawdown, so we were walking along the dry lake bed along the woods. We found a cemetery that we did not know was there, and we stopped to check it out. They were very old, and one or two new grave sites. We noticed it got very quiet, no bird songs, nothing but silence. We stayed there for 30 minutes and took the driveway out to the paved road. If you go straight up to the drive and down the road, you go to the water treatment plant for the park, and if you go left, it takes you over a quarter mile uphill to the parking lot of the primitive camping area. My wife was getting tired, so she sat down on a rock and I went to get her vehicle. I started walking, and after a couple minutes, I heard something walking through the leaves up on the 6 to 8 foot bank to my left. I could not see anything, but if I stopped, it stopped. I don't know why I didn't climb the bank to look, but I did not even think of it. When I got back to my wife, she was walking up the hill toward me. She told me that the woods were strangely quiet, and she was hearing twigs snapping and what sounded like something walking through the leaves towards her. We left without any event. Move ahead to 2013 after I retired, and we bought a 22-foot pontoon boat with a half a camper enclosure that we can zip in and camp on it. At Salt Fork, you are allowed to boat camp. We started going there fishing and motoring around the lake, and around 4 or 5 in the afternoon we drop anchor, put the enclosure up, and fix supper. This time, camping on the boat, we stopped at a narrow spot on the opposite shore from the stone house. We were only about 15 feet from shore, this time with a small ridge beside us. I started setting up the grill when a large rock hit the water close to the boat. I did not see it hit, nor did I see what threw it, but I've thrown enough rocks in the water to know what it sounded like. I looked up, and around the ridge I said, "Hello!" but I never saw anything or heard another sound the rest of the night. The next time we went and anchored, we were 200 yards south from the first spot we camped on the lake. This spot was where a horse trail came down to the lake. Before dropping anchor, we reached the boat and did just a little hiking. This time I was looking for footprints. I found some just a short distance from the boat, bare human prints, again 3 or 4 inches longer and wider than my boot, and they turned off the trail and went uphill through the bush. I could see where the toes dug into the soft earth as they moved up. My wife was right there and saw them as well. That night we had an uneventful evening, watched the stars and the planes flying over. About 2 a.m., I woke up to the "Who Cooks For You" from barn owls. I woke my wife so she could hear them and started noticing that we were hearing them from the surrounding hills. They're all around us. Is this normal? I unzipped the back door, stuck my head out, and total silence as soon as I did that. We have never heard a barn owl there since. I think it was the same time camping later in the night that I woke up to something on 2 legs running through the water along the shore. The thing is, I'm hearing this, but I could not move. I wanted to get up and look out, but I couldn't. I was not afraid, I just could not move. Was I dreaming? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this year next time was, but we had our 5-year-old granddaughter with us. She fished all day, never complained, and never caught a fish. We anchored for the night at the same place from my last story. Put the sides up, and our granddaughter wanted to fish some more. My wife went to the camper section, and about that time, our little one hooked my shirt and my shoulder. I can't get the hook out one-handed, so I'm calling for my wife to help, and she won't answer. I call 2 or 3 more times, and finally she comes out and gets the hook out. Later she whispers to me that she saw a Bigfoot watching us from the bank behind some brush. She said it was about 3 foot wide at the shoulders, and she saw from the upper chest up. Had no hair on his face. Not human, but human-looking face with medium-length shiny dark brown hair on its head and shoulders. She said it sort of swayed side and side while it watched. She was afraid to take her eyes off it or come out to help me because she did not want to scare it off. We were about 40 feet from shore, and it was probably 8 feet back from the edge. Where it was, I think it may have been 6 feet tall. When my wife told the local BFRO about it, she was poo-pooed and poo-pooed again by Cliff Barackman at the Bigfoot conference we attended later. Never again will I attend there. Never again will I attend one here. Yeah, don't attend those at all. They're idiots. Another time we were camped back close to the first campsite, but a few yards further south. At this spot, the rise up on the same ridge is gentle and 40 yards to the top with very little brush from the lake to the top of the ridge. From the water to the top of the bank is about 40 feet and then gentle slope to the ridge. That night we were watching stars and planes like we always do. We spotted a light in the sky, brighter than any stars, right over top of us, moving north to south. We watched for 5 minutes maybe, and it just went out like someone turned off a switch. We were sitting there like, what the hell? There were no other lights on it that would make me think it was an airplane, just the white light. We have seen this same type of light twice, and both times it goes out the same way. Later that night, we were sitting with our backs to the ridge, and we started hearing something walking down the hill through the leaves. Swish, swish, coming down the hill. I'm trying to gauge about when whatever it is gets to the bottom before I turn on my box light flashlight on. When I turn it on, it lights up the whole hillside and there's nothing there. What the hell? I don't know. We've not been getting over there as much the last few years due to busy around the house and health issues. Maybe this year we can get back to it. If you can use this, great. If not, I'll not be pissed. Not my style. Keep the videos coming if you can. Be safe up there in those beautiful mountains. Feel free to use my name, David Boffman. February 24th, 2020. Thanks, David. That's a pile of experiences going on in that place. Nothing I'd go looking for intentionally on my time anyway. But there you go, you guys. There's another one, and a lot of you people might think some of these are too long or whatever, or not that interesting. And obviously, I'm not here to judge. I don't even know what that one was about. I just saw it and copied it and threw up my notes to read later. And that's what I've been doing basically with all of them. So everybody counts. Nobody counts any more or less than the other person. And what do we do, right? We just keep talking about it. And in case anybody's curious, we're still hard at creating something for everybody, which I mentioned a few times in the past. But you know, a lot of people hear me say that and they get impatient and say, how long is it going to take? When's it going to be? And trust me, it's a while. It's a pile of work. And so you all know, I have a living to make, and I have a couple other businesses that I am 100% responsible for, and it takes up a pile of my time, man. And so all of this I'm doing here is I'm getting it done. I'm getting it done. Trust me, I'm getting things done. And sometimes I get behind in my other priorities and responsibilities, and it is what it is. I'm babbling, whatever. But I hope this is working out and you guys can see everything behind me. But that stump that I normally sit on and videotape, I think that stump's somewhere right below me. It's probably by the looks of things, it's probably 7 or 8 feet down there to the old road that I normally come and sit on and videotape. You know, that picture of myself and the moose antlers and my bow is done right underneath me. But there you go. There is another one, and it's getting a little late. I guess I better get my butt out of here. Got kind of lucky and got a little bit of a view off here. You know, the drive up here wasn't so good. But again, if you have trouble getting onto YouTube or you don't want to watch these, we're putting each one of these segments, the audio is getting extracted from the video, and we're loading up onto the Spreaker pod on the facts by Howtohunt.com. The Facts podcast, all this is getting loaded on there. So if you prefer, you can watch or you can listen to it on that as you're driving or doing whatever you're doing. And I don't know what happened, but I think 6 or 7 episodes on there just started looping. And I don't know, who knows what the reason is, but it was very, very frustrating. I just delete them, reload them, they're looping, delete them, reload them, looping, put them on the edit program, chuck them all out, do it again, load them up, and it seems to be back on track. I don't know, who knows what the hell's going on, and let's just say somebody's doing it intentionally. I can't picture how, but maybe they weren't as adamant about keeping them looping as I was about keeping them not looping. I don't know. It's all fixed. So there you go. The podcast has been downloaded, I think 30,000 times or something already in a short couple weeks, and it's climbing and getting more popular, and a lot more people are getting informed. And it's a good thing. Lots of goods coming, and lots of good things are obviously happening. And it's all because of all you guys forming this tight-knit, strong, open, confident community. Right on.